Just a few words on today's news before I get to the point. First off, CNN's got this great article up about the second in command of an intelligence agency getting told in the middle of a meeting to submit her letter of resignation, and she did, and the president said, yeah, she's going because he's been getting some grief, and they're saying CNN is writing that apparently some people are worried that the president is going to politicize the intelligence agencies because, they haven't been acting partisan all along. Basically, until somebody can explain why the dossier, the Steele dossier, wasn't a bullshit political hit job and false and should never have been accepted as evidence in a FISA court, which shouldn't exist anyway. We shouldn't have secret courts. What the hell? And along with secret courts, now they're wanting red flag laws again. We got to have a national red flag law. No, you don't. You do not. The same people that I piss off on Twitter and Facebook and YouTube now probably are the same kind that'll report to the authorities. I think this guy's a danger. You should probably get his guns and check him. It's a red flag law. It's the equivalent of saying, hey, this guy might drive drunk, so we should probably take his car and license until we're sure he's not gonna. Or, hey, you know what? I think this guy might rape somebody, so we should do something about that to make sure he's not gonna. I don't know what you can do, but you see my point. We have due process. The government wants to lock you up, wants to take your shit, whatever it is. There's a process for that. And it's bullshit. Red flag laws, my ass. And people are going, well, we need comprehensive background checks. Well, first off, it's a federal law that any gun dealer has to conduct federal background check. Some of the states, some of the states are quicker than others. Some of the states are easier than others. They have less of a backlog. But the point is, federal firearms dealers are already allowed to. And people say, well, what about the private gun sellers? What about the people that have the guns and just sell them to someone else? Well, let me tell you something. If I decide to sell my car to somebody, I don't have to check their license. I don't have to check their insurance. I don't have to check if they're allowed to drive. I don't have to check anything. All I have to do is have them sign a release of liability. And I send that to the DMV. And it's all done. Right? Government should not come between people in the free exchange of goods and services. Period. And while I'm on a federalist rant, and here's an odd thing. If you're a federalist, you're for states' rights. And if you're a statist, you're for the feds running everything. So, while I'm on a rant about federalist stuff, the federal government shouldn't license anybody for anything. Not their job. Let the states work it out. Now, I know the aviation community is going to say, no. You need federal licensing for planes, because those are, if you don't know how to fly a plane, you can't just get in a plane and fly it. And I can see to a point where that is, but I'm still generally against the federal government licensing anything. Not their job. Let the states do it. And when it comes to states, I'm not in favor of the states licensing stuff. You know, maybe give you a test for driving a car. Can you operate this automobile correctly? Because you're on the road with other people. I can see that. It's a safety thing. Although if we go back to you can sue the hell out of anybody that wrecks your shit and crush them financially for the rest of their life or until they pay you off, that's fair. People should be responsible for their screw-ups. Problem is we're creating a world where they're not. But this is mostly a Second Amendment thing that I'm talking about today. Here's the thing, shall not be infringed. And people say, well, you can't fight the government. Tell the VC that. Tell the Taliban that. It took us a while to put them down, didn't it? They're still not totally down. Right? Right. Okay. The thing is, I agree with you. You can't fight the government with semi-autos. So we should be allowed to, if we can afford it, buy the same shit the government has. We should. That's the Second Amendment's whole concept, is to make sure that the federal government stays in check. Because as long as we're armed, they know they're not going to be able to easily steamroll over us. But for you folks out there saying, oh, that was really weird. No, okay. For you folks out there saying, well, we need deeper background checks. No, we don't. Because HIPAA laws prevent a lot of reporting of stuff that should be, if we were doing background checks responsibly, looking for the people that are on psychotropic meds and probably shouldn't have guns. But HIPAA laws prevent that. So, you want background checks. I propose everybody needs to carry a gun. And if you don't carry a gun, you pay an extra tax. That's right. Because you own yourself, first and foremost. And you are primarily responsible for protecting yourself. Therefore, you should have to carry a gun in public, and you should be trained to do it. You should go take a basic course and prove that you know how to break that gun down, clean it, and put it back together.
Are you live?
I am not live. I am recording.
Oh, good. He's in his underwear, folks.
So, yeah, you should be forced to carry a gun. I said forced. You should be responsible for your own protection. And if you're not, you pay an extra tax. And that tax goes to the police that have to protect you because you don't protect yourself. The firemen have to scoop your ass, the EMTs that scoop your ass up off the ground when you've not protected yourself. And the hospitals that stitch your ass back up when you have not protected yourself. That's what I'm thinking. Let's go the other way. Yeah, sure, I'm a radical. I don't care. Call me that. Because you are your first property, and only true property is yourself. And now they want to, let's limit the guns. Ooh, assault weapons. Every weapon's an assault weapon. Let me tell you something. I can probably kill you faster with a pen than I can a gun. You know why? Because nobody gets nervous when you pull out a pen, do they? No. Oh, he must gonna be right. He's about to write something. And then you jam it in their throat. Oh my God. They're gonna frickin' bleed out in a minute or two. And they never saw that coming. But if you pull a gun out, everybody gets all testy. Ooh, look out, there's a gun. Yeah. An assault pen. You ever thought of that? Yeah, anything you use to assault somebody is an assault weapon. Just because the gun is black and scary to you doesn't mean it's an assault weapon. And while we're on it, AR-15s, everyone's on about the AR-15. Oh my gosh, it's so dangerous. No, it's not. It's a semi-automatic rifle. And I know you go, oh, why do you need 30 rounds? Why do you need 100 rounds? Well, as a bunch of people pointed out, it took 6 well-trained cops 58 shots to put down a shooter. 6 well-trained cops. 58 rounds. So, why do I need a bigger clip? I'm not as well trained as a cop. That's why. And I know you people sit there and go, oh, but all the people that are dying, let me tell you something. As I've said before, when you parse out the actual number of gun murders, and like the one guy on YouTube put it, 25% of them happen in 4 cities. Baltimore, D.C., Chicago, and something else. Mostly the inner cities and the urban, and in their areas, it's a small group of people doing it. But still, to the point, when you parse it out, even not taking out those 25% of murders, you're around 8,000, 9,000 deaths a year. And I know you go, oh my gosh, that's horrible. Yeah, in a country of 320-something million people, your chance of getting shot and killed by somebody in this country is 0.00004 zeros and some numbers and percent sign. It is way less than 1% even. And you say, well, if it's so not danger, if it's so little a chance to get shot, why do you need a gun? For the same reason I need a parachute jumping out of a plane. They say, you might not need it, but when you need it and don't have it, you're toast. And that's the argument they use for healthcare. The left says, well, you're going to have to use healthcare. It's better to have it and not need it than to not have it and need it. Same goes for a gun. A gun is an inanimate object. Guns are never responsible for deaths. I can tell you, I've been around guns my whole life pretty much. And I have never seen a gun get up, strap on a couple of extra magazines, swig a bottle of whiskey and go, well, time to go kill me somebody. Nope, never seen that. Guns don't do it. It's the people. And you sit there and go, well, yeah, but, people should be. No, people should carry. You should carry. If you do not carry, you're being irresponsible. And the states like California here that make it very bad to get caught carrying are actually making me less safe when I go out in public. And I am keenly aware of this fact. Even though I'm in a fairly safe area, I generally don't leave this ranch. You see all that? Yeah, I generally don't leave this. If I leave this, I pop into town. I try and be as quick as possible. I don't go out meandering. And I stay out of areas that I know aren't safe. Like, I'm in Fallbrook. Well, I don't go to Vista. Why? Because Vista's not that safe. I try to stay out of Oceanside. Why? Because Oceanside's not that safe. In fact, there's places in Oceanside that after dark are seriously not safe. And sorry, Vista, sorry, Oceanside. I know you're probably going to go, wait, you're disparaging our cities. Well, then clean up your friggin' problems. All right? Parts of Escondido I don't go to at night. It's just being smart. And when someone runs somebody over, you don't sit there and go, oh my God, we've got a car problem. Even though in real numbers, people die from automobile accidents at 4 times the rate of actual gun deaths. You heard me, 4 times the rate. Probably more than that, but it's 4 times the rate. And nobody ever says, well, we need better car protections. We should do background checks on people that are getting licenses. No! What do? We go the opposite way. California goes, well, we're going to give illegals licenses. And then they go, oh, and we're going to sign up everybody that has a license to vote automatically. Huh. Didn't see problems coming from that, did you? Huh? Yeah, you did. If you're thinking you did. Anyway, God, I can't believe how fast 15 minutes goes. But the point of today's rant is we're going the wrong way. All this gun control hysteria, it's bullshit. And to my Facebook friends that are super pro gun control and sit there and go, well, none of this will affect you anyway. Bullshit. It's already affecting. All the gun laws that are already passed are affecting me. And yes, I'm big into states' rights. And the states should have the rights to limit things within constitutional bounds. And the constitutional bounds are shall not be infringed. And I know you go, then you say, well, a well-regulated militia. No, well-regulated doesn't mean government regulated. It means people who are in local militias who are regulated and get practice time in and understand if shit hits the fan, this is where we meet and this is what we're going to do. That's what it means. We are the militia. The people are the militia. Why do you think nobody's ever really invaded here? Because we're very well armed, exceedingly well armed. And there's 100 million people in this country who are at least 100 million, who are absolute, devout adherents to the Second Amendment. And you guys have been infringing for way too long. They started in the 30s when the Fed said, well, you can't have fully automatic machine guns. That was the first mistake. Yes, we absolutely should be able to. Absolutely. And I know, you people sit there and go, well, no, but people aren't responsible enough for those kinds of weapons. But then you say don't get voter ID because people should be allowed to vote. You know what? That's worrisome to me. This worries me, and I'll tell you why. If you can't trust people to be responsible to protect themselves and protect their neighbors, how in the hell can you expect them to be responsible enough to vote? On the other hand, given the makeup of California's government right now, maybe perhaps you people have a point. People aren't responsible enough for guns and probably shouldn't be allowed to vote. All right, hit the subscribe button, the little bell, share this thing. If we get up to 1,000, we're going to go live. Boy, won't that be fun. Peace out.